We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Boxingego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live.
You piddly fools. Weep for me. I love it when you weep for Boxingego. The Bud Buddies, they're in full meltdown mode. But the great thing is, men lie. Women lie. But numbers don't. Terence Crawford versus Israel Madrimov. What a disaster. The fight has reportedly lost over $10 million. Now, I want to give the haters a little bit of shine. I made a video about this. I want you, the viewer, to just look through the comment section. As always, the best in the business, and it's not even close. I made the video breaking the news, sourced it out, and it's funny, the Bud Buddies are in full outrage. These are the steps of the stages of grief, if you will, because Bud Crawford's fight was a disaster and couldn't sell. So now we back with the follow-up video. But ironically this, like I said, you can believe me, you don't have to believe me. There were people in the comment section saying, oh, you're hating on Bud. Oh, you're a liar. But as I promised, one thing the Bud Buddies refuse to do, because they don't have the knowledge, they don't have the facts or the intellect to challenge these things, is prove me wrong. I said it and I don't stand corrected. Nobody has actually left a comment. They're making it about me. Oh, your channel, why are you hating on Bud? Bud's still a millionaire. Nowhere in the video did I say that Bud wasn't a millionaire. This is what the Bud Buddies do. It's like the Judas did to Jesus. They're only here to cause distractions. A lot of the comments had very little to do with the actual subject matter. So the lack of a sound argument is usually that deflection. People saying, oh, but Bud still got paid and it didn't hurt Turkey's pocketbooks, and you're hating. What else was y'all saying in the comment section? A few comments said stuff like, Crawford still won the fight. I never said he didn't win the fight. So what are we talking about? So I'm not trying to lose you or confuse you. Let's get into part 2 of this video. So you guys can continue to weep and cry and mourn. It is what it is. And the other thing I will add is, the funny thing is Kevin Iole is the one who actually revealed this news from his sources, which I sourced out in my video. Not a single peep about the actual source of the news. Only me, Boxingego. But I'm built for it tough. I'm built for these moments. Let's get it. So to the people who said that Boxingego was lying, here we go. Kevin Iole, right? And I'm going to show you where it's sourced out. This is about the Crawford fight. Yada, yada, yada. Right? This is his article. Don't be mad. I'm only being real. Yeah. Okay. Boom. We got some action. And I want you guys to read this. You gonna see this. You gonna get this work. Boom. Hold on. Scores of tickets, thousands of them, were given away for the Crawford Madrimov show. And still, the stands weren't full. Okay, hold on. So to the people that said, oh, Boxingego, why? You're a hater, you're hating on Bud. Why are you not saying anything to the author of this article who actually put that paragraph? It's only to me. It's fear, people. It says scores of tickets, thousands of them. I can't wait until the, oh my gosh. If you think the Bud Buddies are crying now, let's wait, because California is not like Nevada. So I'm gonna get my hands on that live gate because California releases it. I'm gonna get my hands on that live gate. And when I do, don't come back crying. I mean, you can, but it ain't gonna do nothing. We're gonna see what that live gate done, right? Scores of tickets, thousands of them were given away for the show. How do you have a loaded card, loaded Lux, a mini concert with Marshall Mathers, aka Eminem, who just dropped a new album weeks ago, right? And you're giving away tickets, thousands of tickets. You're slashing the prices. I know these things for a fact, right? So you guys can get mad at me for speaking the real. I don't care. I came up out the mud. I came out through the trenches in this boxing game, made a name, made people respect the channel and watch the channel. And you just got to deal with it. I'm not here to lie and deceive my audience. Go to them other content creators who is butt kissing and not going to keep it real. I've said it and I meant it. Terence Crawford is a great fighter, but sometimes being a great fighter doesn't translate into pay-per-view success, into pay-per-view stardom. He's not a pay-per-view attraction. Easy work, like I said before, like Floyd Mayweather said. Some people have it and some people don't. He's not a pay-per-view attraction. Now, I didn't say anything really about the fight. The fight was all right. It was mid. It wasn't the best fight, wasn't the worst fight. Two guys. But I told you, I did say this. The fight didn't really help Terence Crawford. Here's why. Because the perception, you have a lot of casual. I'm not speaking because I'm not a casual. I'm speaking the truth based on the overall appearance and perception. Terence Crawford fought a guy with 11 fights. 10 of those were wins. One was a draw. He looked mid versus Michelle Soro. He was a brand new champion for 4 months. He got the belt March 8th, right? So he was a brand new champion. It's not like he's this long-standing Jermell Charlo type champion who went through the gauntlet, knocked out important mandatories like Erickson Lubin and took on Jason Rosario after he beat J-Rock and then went on to fight Brian Castano to a draw and came back, fought Brian Castano, knocked him out in the rematch, fought Tony Harrison, lost close in New York, came back Ontario, California. I was at both of those fights and Jermell Charlo got the knockout over Tony Harrison, so he avenged these tough fights with Harrison and these tough fights with Castano by knockout, right? So this is what Jermell Charlo did to become the man at 154. Then because people forget about it because he went up and fought Canelo. But the point I'm making is it just didn't do anything for Crawford's brand. If anything, it helped Madrimov because people weren't familiar with his game and they seen he could fight a bit. You know what I mean? But it doesn't look good. You heard Ryan Garcia, Boxingego saying it, where you fought a guy with, 10 wins. It just doesn't. Crawford got 40 wins and you're fighting a muff that got 10. It is what it is. And then, like I said, mini concert. And then, here's the other part. Since y'all said I was lying in the last video, let's go. Crawford Madrimov card in Los Angeles last week. The first Riyadh season event put on by the Saudis in America likely lost more than $10 million, right? Several sources told Kevin Iole the pay-per-view sales were negligible. So it didn't do nothing on pay-per-view, negligible. If you know what these words mean, look it up if you don't. It says the pay-per-view sales were negligible. And it said the fight lost more than $10 million. So you guys tell me in my last video, where did I lie? I'm still waiting. Now, we're on Google. We're not done. Last weekend, Terence Crawford versus Israel Madrimov reportedly lost $10 million in Riyadh season event BMO Stadium. His Excellency staged the event, blah, 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 in SoCal rather than Las Vegas. Boxing News 24. So how is it that on YouTube, because I know I'm the king of boxing, I know I'm the king of YouTube, I know I'm the best of the business and it's not even close, but when I say it, y'all say I'm lying and I I'm a hater and stuff. 10 million. What does it say? Hold on. We gonna see. Crawford versus Madrimov, a $10 million fiasco for Riyadh season. But when Boxingego say it, the tears come out. Who else? BJ Penn, former fighter BJ Penn. He has a combat sports website. Report: Terence Crawford, Israel Madrimov boxing card saw $10 million in financial loss. Essentially Sports. So this is Google's top 3 searches. Terence Crawford versus Israel Madrimov, negligible pay-per-view numbers, cost Turkey Al-Sheikh $10 million in a loss. Oh yeah, and then front page, made it top of the world. Front page of Google, 30-minute video. Boxingego 9 hours ago, and it said bad news, Terence Crawford fight loses $10 million. So my question to you is to the haters. In my last video, they say, oh, Boxingego, you lying. Oh, Boxingego, you hating on Terence Crawford. So everybody in the game that I just showed you, from Kevin Iole down, who is reporting it, are you in their comment section telling them that they are hating on Crawford, or is it just Boxingego? Listen, I told you from the beginning, I'm the best in the business, and it's not even close. I don't care who like it. So at the end of the day, you can come to me and get the real, or you could go to them other guys, Marky Mark and Will Ferrell, them other guys, other content creators who, paid off or shills or whatever, and they don't know boxing. That's on you. But I came in the game spitting, telling the truth. That's who I am. I'm not finna sugarcoat it. And we can go deeper. We ain't done enough. Another reason why this is important is because Terence Crawford, he is the one that actually said that this fight feels bigger than the Errol Spence fight. Hold on. Let me get my trusted headphones on. We're not done. Smash the like button. The real is back. And without further ado, roll the clip.
You compare this to the Errol Spence fight. I mean, again, that was like a generational big fight, one we've been waiting for.
How do you compare this to the Errol Spence fight? That was a generational fight we've been waiting for. This is the question, and let's hear how Terence Crawford answered it. Okay.
It was like a generational big fight, one we've been waiting for 5 or 6 years. How do you compare it? Because both big fights, but both quite different.
To be honest, this feels bigger than the Errol Spence fight.
To be honest, Terence Crawford, his response to it was, to be honest, TBH, this feels bigger than the Errol Spence fight. What would possess a man to say that?
This feels bigger than the Errol Spence fight. If you look around, it's different.
If you look around, it's different, said Terence Bud Crawford.
Errol Spence fight was big for the urban community.
I'm done. So you guys heard it. He said the Errol Spence fight was big for the urban community, whatever that means. Black people, I guess, or a hood dude, I don't know. But here's the thing. The urban community fight, Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, had a gate over $21 million, which rivals what Tank and Ryan did in terms of the live gate. I cannot wait until Crawford Madrimov live gate. You guys can come with all the excuses, all the hate, all the comments. It's not going to change the reality that Crawford is a great fighter, skill. He could whoop yo in the ring, but for some reason, with a loaded undercard, a free car giveaway, all the bells and whistles, they literally gave out a car. Eminem posted free tickets on his Instagram, which has like 42 million plus followers. Eminem had a concert. You had Pitbull Cruz and Ryo, who Pitbull's like a fan favorite, and these other guys, and Andy Ruiz, and heavyweight fights. They did everything that they could and still lost $10 million according to the latest reports. And you saying that Boxingego don't know what he talking about. Well, prove me wrong. I'm waiting for it. And don't just do it in my comment section. You better go to everybody who's reporting it. The other thing is, prove me wrong with facts. I told you, I'm the best in the business. You guys can try to make it and say, oh, it was a great fight. I'm not arguing any of that. That's subjective. This is not subjective. A boxing reporter who's been in the industry said several sources told him that this fight was a financial loss. And here's the thing is, the reporter, I'm pretty sure he's interviewed Crawford. I don't know him like for having an axe to grind with Terence Crawford or hating Turki Al-Sheikh or Eddie Hearn. So he really has no reason to lie and not put this information out. You guys are trying to deflect because you don't want to face the music of what it is. So Crawford said that the Errol Spence fight was popular amongst the urban community. Then why are you giving out thousands of free tickets? Why did your fight that wasn't targeted? You said this is different. I just played it for you. You said this fight was different and it wasn't targeted to the urban community. So why did it not generate more, which is what I told you before the fight, than the Errol Spence fight? So where is Crawford getting this? He's saying like, oh, hold on. He's like, oh, they advertise this really good.
It's been something that's been talked about for 5 years. Me and Errol, but it's different. You know, Errol Spence fight was big for the urban community because it's been something that's been talked about for 5 years. Me and Errol, but when you look around, you see so many different races and cultures that it's bigger in its own right.
How is it bigger in its own right?
How do you compare?
How's it? Let me know. How is it bigger in its own right? It wasn't more financially viable and successful. So all this urban community and stuff like that, I'm not seeing it. And this is the problem. We got a bunch of snowflakes. Boxing has gotten soft because people have beta male emotions and they like certain fighters. They don't want to hear the painstaking truth about said fighters, right? And people are like, oh, you hate Crawford. I don't hate the man. I'm doing my job though. And I'm not going to let someone else dictate how well I do my job. Even if it's not the information you want to hear. I have an opinion. I'm giving you my opinion. Take it or leave it. That's how that works. But because these people have beta male energy, they be like, oh, you hate Crawford. They're not proving me wrong. They're not saying, oh, you lied and you made up. So there's literally people right now in boxing that if you look at their titles, they made up everything. It's complete clickbait. Their thumbnails don't represent the actual video. Their titles don't represent. I don't do that, you know, not to no great extent of just lying. I always, like, you can look at my videos since I started. I actually source out where the information comes from. So if you look at my last video with Terence Crawford about this $10 million loss, it says KevinIoli.com and there's a hyperlink. But again, the Bud Buddies aren't known for being too smart. So they just say, oh, you're hating, you're lying. You lied. I'm showing you. And again, steak and potatoes. If I'm telling you that Michael Jordan wore the number 23 on his jersey and you're arguing that Michael Jordan wore number 24, the point is you're wrong. I don't care how convinced you are that it was 2-4. There's pictures, there's videos, there's archives that show that Boxingego is right. And that's how I am. Unless you're going to prove me wrong, you can't be saying he wore number 24 with the Chicago Bulls and all the evidence shows that he wore number 23, which is what I'm saying. So I love it because the Crawford fans and the Bud Buddies, they can get mad. It's not going to change. The fact remains and the fight flopped. And I also feel Bud's next event, good luck. We'll see. You know, they're going to have to do something. How are you going to even top this? Who are you going to get bigger than Eminem? How are you going to make it bigger? You just put him in a soccer stadium and you had to give out tickets. Fake it till you make it, right? So I can't wait. Or does Bud take the rest of the year off and continue fighting one time a year like he's been doing? And here's the thing, Riyadh season Crawford Madrimov, if I'm lying, which is what the haters are saying, and the fight did so great, bring Bud right back, put him right back in LA. I bet you they don't do that. Who want to make a bet? We could bet. What y'all want to bet? 5,000, 10,000. We could bet some money if you got it. Do you think if I'm lying and the report is lying and this was a massive hit, a smash hit, put Crawford's next fight back in LA in a soccer stadium, just run it back. Why would you not? Like when PBC sees Gervonta Davis in Vegas and the numbers is all making sense to what you paid out and all that, they're going to put him back in Vegas, right? So when he fought Ryan Garcia, they liked everything. They brought him back to Vegas for the Frank Martin. Canelo's doing good business in Vegas. They bring him back. Bring Mr. Omaha, that boy Bud, bring him back. Bring that here, boy. Bring him back to LA. And we gonna see if what I'm saying is a lie. So again, you guys can try to run from it, but it's inevitable. You can't run from the truth. Try as you may. We unpacked.